Hey guys, welcome. What I'm going to show you today is how to actually fuse if you don't have a laser. I'm going to show you how to actually fuse using real metal. So a lot of times what's important is the actual torch, and this is how I control my torch, which is the most important part of this fusing method, okay? A lot of people, if you don't have this technique, it's going to be almost impossible, and you're going to be breaking every single stone. You're going to re-tip on if it's semi-precious, or you're going to burn out the diamonds. Or if you have semi-precious stones or even precious stones, you will burn them. So you can see what I do is I control with my fingers, and I control everything. So what I'm going to show you right now, how to actually fuse and things like this. And so I'm going to show you a simple thing, how if you don't do it correctly, and I am, for the sake of the actual video, I'm going to show you what happens if you don't do it correctly. This was re-tipped earlier. So if you don't do this kind of method, you are going to have issues. So you have to go in and out, until the metal heats, then you stick your metal to it. But if you don't, here's what happens.
Hold it up. Hold it up.
If anybody have any suggestion for a better camera, I would like to hear it. But I'm using this brand new iPhone, but I'm trying to show you the best I can. Here's what happens if you don't do it correctly. This time I'm going to show you how to fuse a prong on the actual garnet. Listen, this is actually gold wire. It's not solder. Okay. So I made it a little bit big so you guys could see it on the camera, because a lot of people are having a hard time seeing it. So you're going to see how I'm going to bring it in here like this. I'm going to go sideways, and I'm going to apply it very gently, and I'm going to drop it as needed. So I'm not going to keep heating it until both prong and actual piece that I'm putting on bond correctly. So you can see it started to bond. I let it rest. Okay. Just like you would on the laser, and you can see it bonded right on there, and nothing actually happened to the actual garnet. And this side was where the solder is. You want to zoom in just a little bit so you can see it. The difference, so you know I use actual real metal versus solder. You can see how it's cloudy here, and you can see the real metal right there. Okay. And you don't have a laser, so you got many options. You could use the 19 karat, which is from the laser. Okay, and I could use old prongs, which is 14 karat white, and I could use pieces from my bench that I rolled, or I could take actual wire and I could cut them up to little pieces and I could build them on there. But I'm not going to use any solder, okay? So we're going to try to do over sapphire, which is genuine sapphire. They're normally corundum. So I always recommend you clean the surface, okay? You do a little bit of cleaning where you're going to actually re-tip it or fuse it. So when I say re-tipping, you could use solder, and it will last a very long time. Depends on the customer. So use your own judgment, okay? So here's what we're going to do. When we say I want to do it on the sapphire, I file it down just a hair. Okay, let's try to find something you can see. So I'm going to do the top one right here, okay? So I'm going to put alcohol and boric acid on it, right on there. I don't have to dip the whole ring, okay? I don't want to show a huge flame. It's not necessary, okay? And my son told me not to repeat myself. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the actual 19 karat. So I'm going to cut a tiny piece out of it, just like you would on the laser. I'm going to take, let's say you're going to make a prong, okay? Anybody wants to buy me cutters for Christmas, you can. Okay, here's a prong. Let's say if you want to make it a little bit bigger, you can cut a little bit bigger pieces. So can you try to zoom in a little bit so you can see it? So you could, what you're going to do is you're going to flux it. You could flux on sapphire, it's okay. But don't flux on actual genuine stones like topaz and semi-precious stones, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab the actual, the 19 karat here. And let's add a little bit bigger piece to it so you guys could see it. So here's the prong right here. So I'm going to fuse it right directly to the actual stone. Again, I go sideways. I don't go directly. But if you come from this side, what I would do, come on this side, Noah, I would go this way. I would feed it this way. So from here, I'm going to put the prong on there. Okay. And I'm going to melt it right on there. Okay. You can see it's a nice prong. Now, if you feel like it's only balling up and you want it to come down a little bit, just apply a little bit more heat down the actual prong. Right here. So it's always very important to actually flux the gold so you get a nice flow, because you don't want it to actually not melt on you as fast, because if you don't, so let's say I want to re-tip this one here. So I would heat this just to start it. Then I would bring my solder or whatever the actual piece I melted right to it. You can see that. You don't need a laser to do it. You could do it without a laser. If you're gonna do like these solitaires here, you're gonna do a solitaire. Okay. Okay, ready? 1, 2. All right, so if you need to add more, we could add more. So let's say if I'm gonna add an actual wire. Okay. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this and make a lot of comments and ask a lot of questions. Anything's possible.